Okay, right. Okay, can we start, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, okay, Mazi, we are live now.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna
Hare
to everyone.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all the participants and devotees who are on Zoom. And Hare Krishna to all our viewers as well. Thank you again for tuning in to watch this final round. So today we have the final round, round 3 of the Krishna Conscious Speech Contest. And we have 4 contestants today. We have Gati Prada, we have Harshita, we have Somya, and we have Mardini. So all these great minds are going to speak today. Let us give them a great encouragement. And before I proceed, I would also like to introduce our judges again. We have with us His Grace Tyaga Chaitanya Prabhu, His Grace Patita Pavana Chaitanya Prabhu, and His Grace Rasaprana Prabhu. So as usual, you all know the criteria for judging the contestants. I don't think I have to repeat that today again. I would like to just mention what are the topics for today. So the topics that the contestants will speak today are from 2. They have to choose one. The first one is the real peace formula. And second is all perfections comes from Bhakti Yoga. So these are the 2 topics. With that, before we resume, I see that Her Grace Shantirupa Mataji is with us. And if Mataji may be so kind to actually say a few words before we start off with our first contestant. A few words of encouragement, Mataji, please. Thank you. Mataji? Okay.
Mazi, you're muted.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Nama Om Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimati Jai Pataka Swami Nitinamine, Nama Acharya Padaya, Nithai Kripa Pradayane, Gaurakada Damadaya Nagragrama Tarine, Nama Om Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Guravani Pracharine, Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So I'm very, very happy to see all the young generation coming up so nicely, becoming empowered preachers. I'm sure Srila Prabhupada is going to be very, very pleased. This whole program is such a great success because we never knew such potencies were among all these young budding preachers. You know, that we have so many of them amongst us. And this is a wonderful way of bringing out their talents. And I hope this won't stop here. You know, we have to continue to somehow engage them nicely and fan these talents and bring them to the next level. So I'm really congratulate His Grace Rasaparayana Prabhu and Rati Gopika Mataji for their continued effort. It's not easy at all. We know through these generations, which we have gone through for so many years, to bring up the youth was never easy. And you'll have taken this challenge and we can see the results. That's why we are very, very happy. And congratulations to both of you. My humble obeisances to both of you, because both of you are doing a great job, which will be very, very, very pleasing to Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. And to the contestants, you all are doing a wonderful job. I'm sure even this last session is going to be wonderful because I can see all the very familiar names there. And it is, and you're going to be like a beacon light in ISKCON because you are the future of ISKCON. You are the backbone of ISKCON, and we are depending on all of you all to carry on the legacy of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All the best to everybody.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your very inspiring speech. I'd like to also say that this is not possible without the team effort with parents and Padmanitra Prabhu and the judges and everyone. So thanks again. So I'm going to call the first contestant today. So when I call you, kindly state your topic as well as your full name, your topic, and then you go on. You have 12 minutes, okay? So the first contestant for today is Gati Prada. The floor is yours, Gati. All the best.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadikar Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A very good morning to Matajis and Prabhus, as well as my beloved friends. My name is Gati Prada, and I'm from the Kaishara Youth in Jagannath Mandir. Today, I would like to share a little of my realization about the perfection of Bhakti Yoga. So, based on the nectar of devotion, Bhakti means devotional service. And we cannot be happy without satisfying the desire to love. And love can be all-embracing only when we understand that Krishna is the supreme beloved. Whereas yoga means to connect. And Bhakti Yoga, also known as the path of devotion, is a practice of communicating with God and also re-establishing our relationship with God. So there are many types of yogas. Amongst them are karma yoga, which is fruitive act with a motive. That means those who are attached to results and those who want to regain results. And then there is Jnana Yoga, using mental intelligence and based on studies. And lastly, Bhakti Yoga, which is devotional service. Bhakti Yoga is motivating and uninterrupted. And it is the most practical and efficient practice at this age of Kali. For instance, if there is a tall building and you want to reach the highest floor, would you take the elevator or the staircase? I'm pretty sure it would be the elevator. So thus one should practice Bhakti Yoga because all the yogas are progression towards Bhakti Yoga. So eventually you will reach there. Sometimes it's difficult to practice other yogas as our minds easily get restless. And that's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna himself claims and says, "O Krishna, it appears to me that it is more difficult to control the mind than the wind." Therefore, Krishna says to Arjuna, "You should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out all your prescribed duties with your mind and intelligence fixed on me. You will attain me without doubt." And also in chapter 16, text 85, Krishna says, "Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eva shasi satyam te pratijana priyosame." This particular sloka is repeated in the Bhagavad Gita twice to re-emphasize that we should always think of Krishna and worship him. And this is one of the importance of practicing Bhakti Yoga. The process of continued service to Krishna and his devotees will purify us and allow us to enter Krishna's domain. It is important that it is important that the only qualification is to engage the mind in Krishna consciousness with love and devotion. He also says that if you fix your consciousness on him, giving up all material desires and surrender unto him, you will share happiness with him that cannot be experienced in any way by those who remain engaged in sense gratification. So there are 9 types of devotional service. And the first is Shravanam, which is hearing, Kirtanam, which is chanting, Vishnu Smaranam, remembering, Pada Sevanam, serving the lotus feet, Archanam, deity worship, Vandanam, praying, Dasyam, executing orders, Sakyam, serving as a friend, and Atma Nivedanam, complete surrender. Then there are also 9 stages of Bhakti Yoga, which is Shraddha, faith, Sadhu Sangha, association with devotees, which is very important, Bhajana Kriya, performance of devotional service, Anartha Nivritti, decreasing of unwanted attachments, Nishtha, steadiness, Ruchi, taste, Asakti, attachment, Bhava, love, and Prema, pure love. And in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 14, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dradavrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. It is said to worship the Lord and engage yourself in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Chanting is one of the 9 types of bhakti that Krishna mentions in this verse. The soul's quality is to be active and engaged, and the best way to engage your soul is by doing this bhakti yoga. In conclusion, a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not derived of the results from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifice and giving charity or fruitive activities that they're attached to the results and things like that. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. That is the secret potency of Bhakti Yoga. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much,
Thank
Gati.
you.
That was quite composed and well explained, on the chosen topic. So thanks again. That was good. So now we will
Thank you.
move on to our next contestant. Harshita, please be on standby. Kindly state your topic and then you begin 12 minutes from then. Okay? So go on, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis. I am Harshita. Please accept my humble obeisances and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today I'll be attempting to talk about the topic of all perfection comes from Bhakti Yoga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtata Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Before I start, I like to get blessings from all the senior devotees, as the blessings are very important for my spiritual advancement and for me to talk about the topic as per the teaching of Srila Prabhupada. So, what is yoga? The literal meaning is to connect. Therefore, for us devotees, it is to connect to Krishna. And bhakti means devotional service. There are 3 types of yoga: Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga helps us to connect using knowledge, Dhyana Yoga helps us to connect using meditation, and Karma Yoga helps us to connect using action or activities. Bhakti Yoga helps us to connect using devotional service and is the topmost form of yoga stated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 47. Yoginam api sarvesham margananta atamana shraddhavan bhajato yo mam same yukta tamo mataha. Translation: and all of yogis, he is always who abides with me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. In the context of Bhakti Yoga, the word bhajate is important here. The root word is bhaj, which is used when there's a need of service. The word worship cannot be used at the same sense as bhaja. Worship means to adore or to show respect and honor a worthy individual. But service with love and faith is especially meant for the Supreme Lord Krishna, and worship is most commonly used for demigods. The culmination of all kinds of yoga lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas means to come to the point of Bhakti in Bhakti Yoga. Yoga actually means Bhakti Yoga. All other yogas are progression towards the destination of Bhakti Yoga. There are progressive levels of advancement. An example is Karma Yoga in on itself is the process of acting and being detached from the results. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47, Karmani evadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetu bhurmete sangostav karman. Translation: you have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you're not entitled to the fruits of the action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to the inaction. So we work without attachment to the result. That is Karma Yoga. Then we have the stage of Jnana Yoga, where someone realizes, why am I working so hard? So this person begins searching for the truth through knowledge, especially by speculating and forming their own conclusions. And then they try to achieve liberation. Bhakti Yoga is the art of doing everything for Krishna. In Bhakti, we do karma, action, and we seek jnana, knowledge. But the difference is that everything we do is for Krishna. and all the knowledge we attain is about Krishna or serving Krishna and his devotees. Everything is dovetailed to Krishna. Bhakti is the only thing that attracts Lord Krishna. Therefore, if we want to go back to Godhead, only the process of Bhakti Yoga will work. So how do we perform Bhakti Yoga? There are 9 angas to perform Bhakti Yoga. First is hearing, Smaranam. Maharaj Parikshit, on the last 7 days of his life, he constantly heard Srimad Bhagavatam. Second is chanting, Kirtanam. Sukadev Goswami spoke the Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit. Third is remembering, Vishnu Smaranam. Prahlad Maharaj never forgot Krishna despite the constant tortures from his father, Hiranyakashipu. Fourth is serving the Lord's lotus feet, Pad Sevanam. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is always engaged in serving the Lord's lotus feet of the Lord. Fifth is deity worship, Archanam. Maharaj Prithu used all of his royal possessions in order to offer them in pure devotion to the Lord. Sixth is praying, Vandanam. Akrura offered prayers to Krishna when he was traveling to Vrindavan in order to see Krishna. Seventh is executing orders, Dasyam. Hanuman, the intimate servant of Lord Ram, executed all of Lord Ram's orders despite all kinds of difficulties. Eighth is serving as a friend, Sakyam. Arjuna was so close to Krishna that the Lord offered himself to become his chariot driver and serve Arjuna and his brothers in various ways. Ninth is the complete surrender, Atma Nivedanam. Bali Maharaj gave Sri Vamandeva his entire kingdom, his possessions, as well as his own body, although his own spiritual master was against it. To conclude, today we discussed what is yoga, different types of yoga, why Bhakti Yoga is the culmination of all yoga process, and the 9 angas of Bhakti Yoga. It is also stated by Srila Prabhupada in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. As recommended here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhakti Yoga is especially stressed here as the means of all perfection. In the previous chapters, it has been stated that Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal of both Karma and Jnana Yoga. And in the same way, in this chapter, it is emphatically declared that Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal of different varieties of worship of different demigods. Bhakti Yoga, thus being the supreme, means self-realization. It is recommended here. Everyone must therefore seriously take up the methods of Bhakti Yoga, even though one aspires for material enjoyment or liberation from material bondage. However, it is also stated in the purport of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2.47, it is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness in the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. By the above argument, it is established that Bhakti Yoga is the culmination of all yogas, which helps a sadhak establish a loving relationship with Lord Krishna. Establishing a loving relationship with Krishna and surrendering under his lotus feet is the perfection of this human birth. Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Sarvadamam parityaja mamekam sarvavraja aham tava sarva papeyo mokshi sayam masukaha. Translation: abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. With this, I end my presentation, hoping that I was able to present about the topic of all perfection comes from Bhakti Yoga in the line of teaching with Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas. Thank you for providing me this opportunity to speak about this topic that is very important for all practicing devotees. Kindly advise me if there's anything lacking in my presentation. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Harshita. That was an amazing presentation, well prepared. We loved hearing it. And you will be hearing from the judges later on their closing comments, okay? So well done. And let's move on to our next contestant, and it's none other than Somya. Are you ready?
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavatir Paschatya Deshatharini Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, and please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm Soumya, and today I would love to share you on the real peace formula. Before that, did you like my kirtan? Did you find peace in it? Well, then follow me to find the real peace formula. What do we mean by peace? What does peace mean to us? Peace simply means happiness. And do you face the 6 phases in life? Well, I do face all of them, and I believe you too face all of this. And do you know how to overcome this? Before I move any further, I would love to sing a wonderful shloka that is related to this topic. Bhuktaramyakyatapasham Sharvaloka Maheshwaram Shuhridam Sharvabhutanam Nyatva Santim Richati. The sages, knowing me, is the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Srila Prabhupada called his verse of Bhagavad Gita the peace formula. It seems appropriate that we hear something from Srila Prabhupada about how the world can be brought into peace. Now, as we seem to be practically on the brink of World War III, like COVID, we're all struggling, we can't go anywhere. The great mistake of modern civilization is to encroach upon others' property as though it were one's own. We always think everything that we created belongs to us, and to thereby create an unnecessary disturbance of the laws of nature. These laws are very strong. No living entity can violate them. Only one who is Krishna conscious can easily overcome the stringency of the laws of nature and thus become happy and peaceful in this material world. As a state is protected by the Department of Law and Order, so the state of universe of which this one of the different potencies of God, who is the ultimate proprietor of everything that be. Therefore, the property of God, but we, the living entities, especially the so-called civilized human beings, are claiming God's property as our own, under both an individual and collective false conception. If you want peace, you have to remove this false conception from your mind and from the world. This false claim of proprietorship by the human race on earth, it is partly or wholly the cause of all disturbances of peace on earth. Foolish and so-called man-civilized men are claiming property rights on the property of God because they have now become godless. You cannot be happy and peaceful in a godless society. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that He is the factual enjoyer of all activities of the living entities, that He is the Supreme Lord of all universes, and that He is the well-wishing friend of all beings. When the people of the world know this as the formula for peace, it is then and there that peace will prevail. Therefore, if you want peace at all, you will have to change your consciousness into Krishna conscious, both individually and collectively, by the simple process of chanting the holy name of God. This is a standard and recognized process for achieving peace in the world. We therefore recommend that everyone become Krishna conscious by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is practical, simple, and sublime. 480 years ago, this formula was introduced in India by Lord Sri Chaitanya, and now it is available in your country. Take to the simple process of chanting as above mentioned. Realize your factual position by reading the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and re-establish your lost relationship with Krishna. God, peace, and prosperity will be the immediate worldwide result. In today's world, we as human beings face lots of obstacles, especially in the age of Kali Yuga. We face problems everywhere. Me, being an adolescent, face troubles in school, at home, and in everything that I do. Do you know why these things happen to us? It is none other than our expectations. What do we expect from a friend, a family, and a teacher? We all expect them to be a certain way that we want them to be. And when we don't get that, we feel disappointed, angry, sad, and in worst cases, it leads to depression. I would love to share my very own experience. I face troubles in school, at home, and in every task that I do. In school, I get unnecessary scoldings for what I don't even do. And at home, I get scoldings for the mistakes that I make. And what do I mean by having troubles in each and every task that I do? For me, no matter how small or big the task is, I try to make it perfect. If a task is given to me, I would not go to sleep without making it perfect. But then I realized, why am I asking for perfection when Krishna already said, you can never attain perfection in the material world unless you surrender unto me. If I get a present, the happiness only lasts for a while. And then when I glorify Krishna, when I sing his kirtans, when I dance and sing for him, I feel that that happiness doesn't fade away. I find peace in everything that I do for Krishna. Devotional service is only for those who is tired of this mundane life and wants to experience something further in life. The problem with us being human beings, we think we created everything, like scientists. People think scientists are God, but are they really God? No. So we think we can really control whatever is happening and that is going to happen. When a big manor lives in a big mansion, but the moment when he dies, he is not going to carry anything back with him, not even his body. Then why are we carrying so much for this material world and our material body? Because we know we're all going to go back to Krishna. For instance, if Krishna takes away a job or a friend away from you, it's all for a reason. It is maybe to give you a better one. So don't you dare break the law of nature, and don't you ever dare break the law of God's will. I used to be a person who worries a lot about my future and regrets about my past, but forgets completely about my present. Then I realized, focus on my present, live in the moment, and do the best, while Krishna takes care of the rest. I am a dancer, and when I dance modern dance, my body feels extremely tired and exhausted. But when I dance with full of love, bhakti, devotion, just for Krishna, my body forgets about the pain, and that happiness is everlasting. The same goes with music. When I listen to the same old music playing in my home every single day, I get sick and tired of hearing it. But when I listen to that melodious music of Krishna playing his flute, or listening to Harinam Sankirtans, I forget about all my sick and tiredness, and that song is evergreen and everlasting. I feel I can hear it for about 1,000,000 years. Now, Krishna already said, why are we finding for a friend in this material world when they don't last with us forever? When Krishna becomes your best friend, he will be with you forever. But when you have a BFF, it is impossible to have a BFF in this material world because BFF means best friends forever. How can they even be your best friend forever when they don't even last with you permanently? Only Krishna would be there with you permanently. To the degree we try to create peace around us, we will find peace within ourselves. And to the degree we find peace within ourselves, we will be able to create peace around our surroundings. To sum it all up, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra no matter how you're feeling, no matter you're feeling high or you're feeling down, and always glorify Krishna in any ways, like chanting, dancing, singing Harinam Sankirtans, doing artis for him. Now, I would love to end my speech with a short video that might bring you the actual message of the real peace formula. And I would love to really thank all of you here for giving me this wonderful opportunity to spread a really important message. And we really have to thank Bhakti Vedanta A.C. Srila Prabhupada for introducing this formula to us. Without him, we would not have been able to get this much knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Are you playing your video?
Yeah, coming Mataji.
Soumya, you must share screen.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Last but not least, do not ever forget to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that is the only peace formula, especially in the age of Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Soumya. That was totally a refresher and a reinforcement session for me. Learned a lot. Wonderful. You put in a lot of efforts there. So that was really, and I think I need to steal that presentation, and also I think I'll be knocking on your door to help me with our preaching activities. We really need this kind of materials. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks,
So, yes, let's go to our next contestant. Mardini, are you ready?
Yes, Mataji, thank you.
Okay, so be calm and all the best, okay? Go on from now.
Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pasachadi Satarni Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna and good morning to the honorable judges and everyone who is watching this live broadcast. My name is Madini from Kaishura Youth. The topic that I have chose today is the real peace formula. In this era, there's a lot of conflict going on in this world. Diplomatic conflicts among countries for regional influence, racial tensions, starvation, environmental problems, terrorism, poverty, and the very recent coronavirus pandemic. We often think, why all these are happening? And we easily put the blame on the Creator, the Lord. But in actuality, we should ask what each of us should do to put end to all of these. How do we free ourselves from all these conflicts? Well, this answers in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text 29. Bhoktaram yajnatapasham sarvaloka maheshwaram Sutram sarva bhutanam nyatmamam satimrichati. It means, Krishna says, the sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. What does this sloka means? According to Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, explains, the greatest peace formula is simply Lord Krishna is beneficially in all human activities. Men should offer everything to transcendental service of the Lord because He is the proprietor of all planets and demigods. Srila Prabhupada also explained, unless one understands these facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in this world. There is an example in Ramayana. Bharat, who was the younger half-brother of Rama, was ruling the kingdom on Lord Rama's behalf by keeping the Padukas on the throne. We are only caretakers. He is the real proprietor. He can give and take away. The caretaker acts according to the will of the owner. If one wants to enjoy peace and prosperity, he should give everything to Krishna, who is the real enjoyer, a real friend, and a proprietor by worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. One can satisfy everyone just as one can water the branches, the leaves, a flower of a tree simply by watering its root. or as one satisfies all senses of the body by giving food to the stomach. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, Text 21, explains how great King Ambarisa offered his results to the Lord. Evam sada karma kala pamatmanaha paredyajane bhagavate adoksaje sarvatma bhavam vidadan mahim imam tannista viprabhihita sasasaha. In performing his prescribed duties as king, Maharaja Ambarisa always offered the results of his royal activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the real enjoyer of everything and is beyond the perception of material senses. He certainly took advice from the Brahmanas, who were faithful devotees of the Lord, and thus he ruled the planet without any difficulties. Nowadays, people are after dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Generally, they perform religious activities to achieve some material gains, and they engage in material activities for sense gratification. After being frustrated in material sense gratification, one wants to be liberated and become one with absolute truth. Liberation is not great achievement for devotees, but they are situated on the transcendental platform. Queen Kunti prays that one can feelingly chant God's name and access His mercy when one understands nothing is mine, everything belongs to God. Akinchana Gochara. A person who is connected to the soul and God always find peace, fulfillment, and love. Worldwide, ISKCON temples all over the world are having book distribution, Food for Life program that distributes free prasad, Kirtan Mela, and Harinama Sankirtan in streets. With such efforts, the Hare Krishna movement has helped humanity to free from all calamities. We must remember, whether we are king, whether we are teacher, a housewife, a farmer, or even a sadhu, if you understand these principles, you could be peaceful in every single situation that comes upon you. But if you don't understand these principles and you want to be the proprietor, you want to be the enjoyer, it is not possible to be peaceful, not for any duration, because it's an unnatural situation. It's not a real solution. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you very much, Maidini. Hare Krishna. Wonderful preparation as well. Very clear and profound too. So interesting to hear all the four of you speak today. It was really, really very nice. I enjoyed listening. As I said, it's a refresher for me. Okay, so with this conclusion of the last participant, I would like to call upon the judges one by one to give your closing remarks. So first I call upon His Grace Rasaprana Prabhu.
I don't know what to say. Every week is, this week also is fantastic. All of you spoke very nicely. I heard today the process of devotional service, all the process explaining to me. This is so nicely juicy, you know. It's so nice to hear all of you speak about Krishna consciousness. So nice. And then we had the real peace formula. The conclusion is chanting of the holy name collectively. And wow, so very wonderful, all of you. As I say, our participant for Sunday Peace is ever increasing for the classes. You know, we have a big competition from our youth. You know, so wonderful, all of you perform. You know, actually, it's very tough now for us to make a decision. No? All of you, spoke very wonderfully. I encourage you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be tough for the judges to choose, but don't take too long because I need the results by at least by Wednesday next week. Okay, so I call upon His Grace Patita Pavana Prabhu to say a few words as well, closing remarks.
Hare Krishna. So wonderful. Congratulations to all the wonderful youth speakers for this week. I have to say, these youths are creating so much of problems for the judges. They keep raising the bar higher and higher and putting all the judges into a tough spot. But this is a wonderful problem. This is an amazing problem. I like this problem. I'm sure all the judges love this problem. It's a wonderful approach. So even for this week, I have a few wonderful points that I've actually noted. Again, all the speakers for the 3 weeks, they've wonderfully quoted from Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada's explanation, meaning that they are reading Srila Prabhupada's books. So hats off and kudos to all those speakers who are, avid readers of Srila Prabhupada books, and all of you are being so inspirational, at least for practicing devotees like my humble self, to read Srila Prabhupada books much more seriously and more scrutinizingly. And another amazing fact that I saw, that not only you all are quoting from Srila Prabhupada's purport, the beautiful thing that I'm seeing, that you are able to share your own realizations to bring a deeper import meaning of Srila Prabhupada's purports, and a very wonderful icing on top of that is you're able to address or relate to the current situation. So this is really, really amazing. So this is some of those wonderful qualities that we look in amazing preachers. Not only they are able to understand and quote Srila Prabhupada's, from Srila Prabhupada's purports, but they are able to relate, they're able to express their own realization as well as relate to the current situation. So I've seen wonderfully, some of you relate with your own, what are the challenges that you face in your own life, as well as what is the challenges or the situation, pandemic situation the world is going through. This is wonderful. This is really, really amazing. So again, hats off to all of you for making this wonderful presentation. And thank you so, so much for truly inspiring all of us. And again, congratulations. As I mentioned earlier, all of you are winners. All of you, we are very sure that all of you have pleased Srila Prabhupada so much. So I do not want to speak further. I get too emotional when I see this kind of wonderful news. So
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
All are winners.
yeah, definitely all are winners. It's going to be very tough to even come up with what kind of prizes we're going to give. Like what Patita Prabhu said, it's such a wonderful example, practical example on how to apply these principles and teachings into our daily life. And you started so early, you will keep to this until, 80, 90, 100. So that's the wonderful part of, devotional service. It's great. Without any wasting any further time, I'd like to call upon His Grace Tyaga Chaitanya Prabhu to also give his closing remarks today. Prabhu? You're muted.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Hare Krishna.
Loud and clear. Okay, I had a tough time today because I thought when I took up this wonderful service offered by Rasaprayan Prabhu and Rati Gopika Mataji, it started off with fun. Yes, I thought, wow, finally, I'm getting a chance to do something for the youths. But I think they made my 3 Sundays very difficult, because, everybody seems to be, oh my goodness, I don't know whether I would have done such things at that age of yours. So congratulations to all of you. Also to the organizers, Rasaprayan Prabhu, Rati Gopika Mataji. I think the 6 topics were really excellent topics. Starting off with the aim of human life, wondering whether God is a person, how to make advancement, and then is this the real modern age yoga? Then finding the peace formula, and finally, wow, you took me to the 9 angas of bhakti and asked me whether I'm actually a good devotee or not. Thank you, youths, for checking on my Krishna consciousness. Now, all of you were very confident, that I salute you. I liked when you said something like, good examples I liked all the time when you all used the question technique by asking yourself, and what Patita Pavan said, something very true. Particularly in today's presentation, last week was a little bit there. There was good personal reflection, and I think this is very important in a presentation where it's not just giving information, but actually reflecting back on our own lives to see. And I thought this was done very, very well. The other thing was, now you've made me very difficult. 6 thirsty, wonderful topics, great presentations. Were very difficult for the judges. So you want it by Wednesday, Mataji. So to all of you who took part, I actually, when I looked at today's names, I thought, wow, we're going to have 5 girls, because we had 3 girls last week. So that would have made 8 girls and 7 boys. Wow, lucky you boys, because lucky whoever backed out made it even 7-7. Am I right, Mataji?
Yeah.
Yes, 7-7. We actually had another contestant who couldn't make it today. So.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There was supposed to be 8 girls and 7 boys. And I thought, wow, the girls had taken over. But nevertheless, we are spirit souls. I still believe we all are practicing that. But while we are practicing that, we live in the material world. So we also see the difference. Boys, you did well. Girls, you did well. I like because you focused on the topic. You didn't run away from the topic. And today the girls had a very nice flow, and even the speed of their presentation was excellent. And all of you had, Harshita, you had 5 shlokas today. Gati, you had 5 shlokas today. Saumya, you had 3 shlokas today. And of course, Machini, you also had 3 shlokas. So at least you all supported with whatever Prabhupada has given us. Thank you for being clear. Thank you for being confident. Thank you for the nice examples. And thank you for taking part. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much. Prabhu mentioned a very important aspect of this whole thing, which is, taking part. And I would like to thank all the youth who participated and their parents who supported them all the way.
Yes.
And this is wonderful. We hope we can have this now, take this to a next level. It's all in a planning stage. We'll have
Hare Krishna convention. We'll go for that.
Yes, but even before that, we plan to, suggest this to His Grace Prahlad Rakshaka Prabhu and see what we can do, nationally. Yes, and okay, so don't forget to tune in next week, because next week is going to be like a real nice session where we're going to announce the winners. It's going to be slightly different. It's not going to be a normal 1, 2, 3 kind of prizes that we're giving out. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to spoil the suspense. I will keep it next week. Okay. And meantime, the judges, please get the results to me so that I can start preparing for the next week's session. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank also Padmanetra Prabhu, and of course our women's department, Santirupa Mataji. She's also participating, encouraging a lot of us for the. So thank you very much also for being part of this. And also all of you, especially parents and also the participants, thank you very much. You have done a lot of endeavor. We really have pushed our youth to another level actually now.
Yes, yes.
We'll definitely take this to the next level. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu.